Okay. We are glued down there. Now, here's the fun part. I was hoping, or maybe debating here, about trying to cut. See, there's these natural edges, and I don't know whether to match it so it sits inside, but I don't know if I cut it, if it will actually match it. So, if I have it up high enough, maybe I blend it with the dots. I'm trying to see if we can get it to, see if I can get it where I want it to go. Get it to actually line up to where I can cut the, whoopsie, cut the, what's the word? Cut the corners and then drop it down a little bit so you see a little white as a border. So it shadows the same angle of each side, but we're not actually, I don't know how to explain it, like the shadow, and that's not, they don't go out far enough, so I have to move each one over. Thank you. No, that may not work. Okay. Not working the way I want to. Now I could totally clean up the top though and not have this buckle. I could try to cut straight across and corner it, maybe corner it a little bit, but that'd be by eyeballing it. So trying to figure out how to clean that up and make it look nice, and that's where I'm having issues, because I mean, I know it's a bag, but this doesn't fit in here well by itself. Like, it does have the edges that it pokes out. So all I could do is lay it there and then just trim that edges off. But then it's not a consistent, it's not like here where we have a nice border around things so you have that same space around all of it. So it's bugging me. It's oh so bugging me. Because that's why I thought if I move it all the way up, cut it, and then brought it back down. It's trial and error, people. Trial and error. Let's see if we can do. I'm gonna try something. We'll just see. It ain't gonna work. It's gonna work or it's not, right? Paper. I mean, not paper. Pencil. I need a pencil. We're gonna trace it, and then. That's so funny. I just heard the. Not even trace it. What if we? This is where this is not. This is just us. This is us going, let's try this and go, maybe not. All right, that's what if we do. Now line it up with the top of the thing and the side. And I'm going to cut the whole thing so that it's nice and clean. Then, I'll go to the other side for the moment. Line it up. Cut the paper to match. The book page to match, so that at least the corners start this at the same angle, the same depth. It's always our problems with our usually the only problem with the corners. So when we do tags, if we're not careful, you know, we want both sides to have an equal, that the angles are the same. And that's our, you know, that doesn't look too bad. I might have done it. By Jovi, I might have it. So let's re-ink that. Let's see. Cut them a little better, matched them, and then we're gonna, it's a little off, but what I want to do is that, and then I could ink that in, let me ink that in green real quick to keep our theme going, but I do like the general idea. The general idea actually worked pretty well. So by bringing it up to the corner edges and trying to clean up and match the angles, we have this nice little white border, and it looks like it's inside the border of the bag. And you know me, I like triangles and squares and circles. Okay, so let's do a little bit of ink work to the bag, just so it's not so white. Gives it a little something fun. Pulls the green from the bottom that we inked on the edges. We're just bringing more and more of the colors from the kit, the best I can, into this. But, ooh, it was getting gooey. That's okay. Let's put the glue on this because, I'm called out here too. I was a good girl. My glues were not in the house, but this is like the second or third film for the day that I'm working on, so they're not like been outside not in the night all night cold. They're just cold in general. It's just cold. for us. I shouldn't complain. Others are, you guys, some of you guys you're lucky if you see 0, right? 0 degrees, and I'm like, hey, we're cold at 60. I know, we're big babies in California. We don't know what to do with ourselves. But we're not, you know, it's like, we're not raised, we don't know what to do. Unless you live up in northern where you're used to getting a little bit more snow. Right, there we go. I think. What do we think? Ooh, I like that a lot. And let me do a little bit maybe of, just a little edge of brown to have a definite ending point so we don't look like we drop off into oblivion there. What do you think, people? I hope you guys get good coloring. It's so hard. I'm seeing it at an angle too, so my screen might be darkening things up for me, but all right. Nice and tight. There we go. We do that again. Oh, we have to lightly score. Just sort of lightly pressing in there to hope that it'll help, but it may not go all the way through to do that. Nope. Okay. That's all right. We just do that. There we go. Okay. Ta-da! There's the coverage of our front cover of our... I really wish I could get that down. That is driving me insane. Where is the basic front cover? It is covered. So then the inside, we just do that our one single pocket. I think that's where it is right there. That is probably the cluster that is causing us to be... See, this side is fine. It's really not... It's not this end that's a problem. It's how this bag doesn't... It almost gives you that feel of the upper pocket is staggered. It's just not... I should have worked on that more. Oh, well. It is what it is, right, people? We're just going to keep that in there. Okay. Perfectly imperfect. It's handmade. It is definitely... We are not trying to mass produce, manufacture this. This is just us as we go along and enjoying the process. So, all right. Now, we need to find some stuff to put on the front cover. We need to decor. What do we think? How are we doing? 14 minutes in plus 10. We're at 25. Okay. So, I wanted to do a couple different things. I wanted to put maybe a letter on there because I have some tulips here. We want to do. So, what do we have? These are 1 inch. I do have this botanical circle kit. I have them in circles in 1 and 1.5 inch. And they also come in stamp form. So it's all one kit. And you get them in stamps and you get them in circles. So these guys, I don't have any circles around them, but they fit the 1.5 to 2 inch, 1.5 inch. You can go short and make it something very specific, or you can go the 1.5 inch circles. You've got these with little circles around and make them 1 inch. Ooh, that's a good idea. I just had another thought for that. Sorry. Working on dangles, and I was like, wait, I need those. And then I have them in like sort of like in boxes that look like stamps with the botanical letters on them. So, all really good stuff. But I need that W, but I can't cut too much out because then, oh, duh, let me just do this. Cut too much and you can't get in there. I think the W, I don't know why W, or the V. What do we think? Maybe the V prettier for Victorian, for vintage, for whatever. So you just sort of layer it up, and when you buy these, I believe you can do it to where you want to suggest that you do an actual size. That way your circles come out the right size. Otherwise, that tiny little gray area will be inside your circle punches. And not that you can't just do like I did. You're going to ink it anyway. And they're pretty pale on purpose, but, you know, sometimes. That reminds me of something. No, I just realized with the dangle sets I was doing. Those would be adorable inner dangle sets. Oh, do some letters in the dangles. Hold on. I know, before I forget, I'm multitasking to the upteenth extent. And I totally forgot I did those alphabets in that size. So, lovely. Okay, so I want to get a V on here somewhere, layered up. We need flowers. I have stamps in the larger stamps in that, but I think that's going to be too big. I do want a little label, though. I think a floral label and we'll do a little green label. We'll brighten it up a little bit. This one sort of has something. I wonder how little. I think that size. I just don't want to do bordered or straight on. I think we'll just do straight on. These are on sticker paper, so it makes it really easy for me to use. For the most part, unless we're going over lace, then it's a little harder because the sticker is not really. It has gaps. It has holes, air pockets, whatever you want to call it, within the lace, so they don't stick as well. So yes, we may want to fill it in a little bit with some fabric tack so that it stays. And sometimes it's just a nice, if you can get enough of it to connect to the lace, it does have a nice effect. So I'm going to put a little bit of this green over it. This is a little bit more of a blue-green, like more of a blue-green sage than this sort of minty other variation. I'm going to let a little bit of the green go over the label. All right, so we have the label. We have a letter. And now I'm only wondering if I want to do some kind of floral thing. Oh, that's, and I have another thought. I have some new labels I want to create, which I don't know where my Post-it, no, my Post-its are on the other side. I need to keep reminding myself to make them. There's a couple people who have some things like it out there, but I have a thought, and I want to make them for my digital. It's amazing how I can't get the gumption to do anything, and then all of a sudden, I have no time to do digital work, and all of a sudden I want to create stuff. It's like, really? But isn't that how it always goes, though? I mean, isn't that how it works, though? It's when you have no time, or when you're busy, or you want to be doing other things, that your body goes, but what if we create this? You're like, but I didn't have time to create that. Or why didn't you think of that earlier? Or why? I was like, and now you're thinking about that? So I have these little scraps, and I'm thinking about layering them up to help with any border issues that we're going to do here. Right? I think those are going to be nice, so we'll get that going. I love just grabbing little bits and pieces and seeing what works. And I really have scraps. I'm learning to use them all. I'm learning to use them. What is that? Oh, it's a Christmas one. It's a little snippet from something else we were doing. Came out of something I had a sticker of. I was like, oh, well, I'll keep that. I'll keep that. We'll keep that tiny little piece. Okay, so what I'm thinking, I need to figure out which floral we want on the front. That would look good for color. I know we have that on the inside, so I'm sort of for small stuff. I think this is going to be the one I'm going to want to enhance over here on this corner, up here on this corner, and then do our label. I could do this, which could go up the side, and that would help mirror what's inside. Ow! I'm trying to get used to short nails. This is weird. I haven't had short nails in a while. But I think actually this and this, some of these are going to be really great for other things. So let's do the flowers that mimic the inner pocket. And these little fussy cuts are inside the kit. They are, and they have the shadow on them to do the easy cut. So you don't have to be super close, and it sort of gives you that vintagey inking. You just add a little bit of photo ink to it, and you've got a really great dimension because you've got this shadow and whatnot. My problem is I don't always cut well around that shadow. Sometimes I use the shadow as part of it, sometimes I don't. But again, that's what the ink is for when you're like, I'm not so sure. Oh. I don't know what to talk about right now. And my whole life is about this shop right now. Oh my gosh, the kids are doing good. The cheerleading is good. Oh, cheerleading, that's what it feels like though. The girls had their big, my little one had her big, what's the word? Competition. Well, for them, for the junior high, it was a big idea. It was a big deal, right? So, that was, had all its stresses and massive amount of practices. They were going from 2 practices to then they had a 3rd one, and then like the week of the actual competition, they just had, they pretty much had practice Tuesday through Friday, 1.5 to 3 hours, and what else you're gonna do, right? You have to learn it, and they kept, they'd have to tweak something, or they would probably figure out how to choreograph something, and then they have to, quickly learn that, and oh my gosh, I don't know. They're junior high kids. They are learning. They are getting an opportunity to, give this a shot and see how it works. And so it's just like, what are you going to do? You have to learn. You got to figure out how it goes. And so I know they gave it their all and did really well. And, the high school was cool. They did like a lunch with them beforehand. So they can continue to get to know each other. And some of these kids are new, and they just came over from the junior high, and they're, just learning. I forgot there was a sticker on that. Oh, let's not do that. I forgot that's a sticker label. There I'm going ahead of the time because I need it to stick everywhere. And even my fabric has this sticker on it, but we're putting it all on paper, thankfully, so I can keep tweaking whatever I need to keep tweaking. So I'm just using scraps of fabrics and laces, and I'm Okay, so let's do create this cute little cluster with different things. Probably just gotta get, it's fine. I'm doing all this fabric tack, so I'm gonna keep going fabric tack. At this point, I would probably use glitter glue because it's paper on paper, but we have so much going on right now. We're going to, oops, yeah, let's leave it. I can add whatever I need to. So we've got this gorgeous, well, I think it's a gorgeous, cute little corner. We got a label. We got fabric. We have lace. We have sticker fussy cuts. We have a, let's see, yeah, let's get this underneath here. It's definitely moving around. I'm like, whoops, you are not glued down. Wasn't sure how much glue was coming through the lace to help us here. We're going to tuck that up and we're going to hold on to it because it needed to be in a certain spot. Here we go. Okay, so now, because it is a cover and we want these to be clean pockets, I do have to glue these shut, which I have not done. So now, I think we're good. Yeah, let's glue these down. Now, if I did this the way we were going to, I still would glue these down because this was going to be what sort of wrapped over, and you were just going to glue top and bottom, the bag to the page you were going to put it on, and you were going to just let it, do its thing. But I am going to make it a cover, so we need to do this, which gives it a little thicker. So if I want to grommet these two ends and tie something on the end, which we probably will do, knowing me, and tie a little sari silk or whatever to keep our, hopefully, maybe I can make it a nice little, thick book. We'll grommet these two and tie them on the edges. We won't go all the way around. All right, there we go. Look at that. We actually decorated a little bit, a little lace and stuff. So at this point, I can put more trim in here. I can add more layers, but I think we're going to put more decorative ephemera in here to keep that weight, and put the weight on that instead. But I think we're going to be done for the day, guys. Well, the inside maybe. And I've got to pick the pages. I've got to figure out the sizes and where I'm going to cut them. Because this is definitely more like a little notebook. Small journal, mini journal, notebook. We're going to have hopefully enough pages in it. If I can get 15 pieces of paper in here, you would have a standard 60-page journal in here. It's just little. And it would just be one signature though. So we'll see. I'll just see where I feel like, okay, it's really thick and I don't want it to rip through, but all this paper is now helping it reinforce the bag so it shouldn't rip through or have any problems. And when we're done, if I find the right lace and I decide, nope, we really want to enforce it one more time, we'll put some lace up here as long as it doesn't interfere with putting stuff in the pocket. So if my my large instantly back journal cards fit in there, which I think is going to fit in this one for sure in the front and back, I have to see what tags I have to put in the back. You want to do that. Make some large tags for back here, instantly back journal cards here, or inside here. Oh, inside here I have the little ones. I have little ones. Oh yeah, I have plans. Oh, just want to get confused. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this process, that you liked watching our newest kit. So here we go. We'll go to some, this would be the inside. I will better cut out some of the stuff around here for sure. We'll soften this up a little bit so it doesn't get caught every time we want to put something in it. But I actually have to cut the whites off of that. I don't like doing the white. We're going to do the edges, but I'll probably, we'll do this. We'll get some of the coloring out. We will definitely lighten it up, or darken it up. Darken it up, because it is white. But I would definitely want a rippled up or rippled down edge. We're going to get some paper over this with, I don't know which color, maybe the green. I'll just see what, I have both pages from what I cut up from the other one, so where'd it go? Hold on. I'm like, I have it in the front. I have a square fabric something. Well, I have the strips, but I don't think those are big enough, long enough. So we can do the green from like we did on the other side. We can keep up with the pink, or we can keep up with this one. This is a nice duplicate. This actually goes with this. Actually has a lot of the flowers in it. So actually the beige, because it doesn't go all the way across, might be a great, either one, doesn't matter which way. Might be just the right decollete, add it, rip it. We'll do a nice little, some 3D to it and make that sort of that bottom piece. Only other thing I could do would be cut this out and then glue it on top of that page. But this is a lot thicker. This is cardstock compared to this is just paper. So I think we're going to do a ripple paper on top of the flowers. and we'll get it, you know, to make a nice, more solid pocket. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I may work on that and maybe give you guys a quick short on how I put that pocket together. And then I'll come back together and what you guys can watch me put, show you how or what I was doing for this signature and how we put that together. So we'll do a little signature prepping together, and we'll see. I'm constantly working on stuff. It's always ongoing, right? We know this. So I love you all very much. I thank you so much for watching and joining me today as we finished up this cute repurposing our packaging that we get from everywhere, that we find in our stashes as we go to declutter and clean up our areas. We go, oh, that's a cute bag, or that's a cute box, or that's a cute container. How can I use that? Instead of throwing it into their landmines, not landmines, landfills. Yes, they're supposed to be recycling things, but you never know. Sometimes they don't recycle what they're supposed to recycle. So let's give it a little less to recycle, right? I feel that's always a good idea. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to keep going. I love you very much. Thank you for joining me. We are going to move on to the next project, or on to the next stage, right? And we get to, you know, create another little journal for all your needs of expressing yourself. So, all right, guys, next time I talk to you, we'll be that much closer to our new shop. Love you all very much. Bye-bye.